Hello and welcome to Centurions Corner, and today we're going to be building a bin and some black sacks for our diorama. So all you need from this is some steel trays. You can pick these up from the pound shop. You get about 3 in a pack. Some glue, some wire and the clippers to actually break the wire itself, and maybe a cocktail stick or even one of those ones that are a little bit longer, to skewers and stuff like that. It'll probably be a little bit easier to do. So grab your ruler, and what you want to do is go by 15 centimeters by 8, cutting out a nice rectangle, and you can do it with your Stanley knife to get a nice clean cut. So once you cut out your shape, what you want to do is grab your ruler. You can either use the end of the cocktail stick or even a pen, and just what you want to do is just sort of lip up the edge, not by a lot, just a tiny little bit on the edge. And as you can see here, I'm just sort of doing it, and it's just to cut away any type of sort of sharp edges. And what you're going to do is just simply just bend it over back on itself. So you don't want to use too much of the actual metal, you just want to do a small little bit there, just to cut away those sharp edges, because you don't want accidents to happen. And once you've done that on both sides, just make sure that they're padded down, they are pretty straight, and then we can head on to the next part. Now what you want to do is cut a nice length bit of your wire. Hopefully you've got these sort of cutting boards that I've got here. What you want to do is just use one of the lines and marry up with the wire down and sellotape it. Just keep it nice and straight. You don't want no wiggly lines or anything there, but make sure you've got quite a nice line of it being straight. So what you want to do now, about 1/2 centimetre in, just lay that tin foil over the top, grab your cocktail stick and score along one side of it. Once it's done, go the other side and push. Don't push too much because you don't want to go through the actual foil itself, but just make sure it's in a nice straight line, and do it at the top and the bottom. So now what you want to do, I mean, I use my eyes here. You can either score it and do it by yourself, but I was just doing at least sort of 1/2 centimetre and just doing another scoring from top to bottom, not to go over those lines that we made with the wire, and just cutting it down. This is to actually give the definition of the bin with the lines. Hello all, Steve here. If you're still enjoying the video, even if it's on in the background or you're sitting there having a poo, it is really much appreciated if you press the like button, subscribe and ding that bell so you don't miss any further content down the time. So I'll leave you here while I still do my lines, and thank you so much. Once you're fully done, what you want to do is just grab something that probably can be the whole circular of it. So you might find some bottles in your cupboard. This one here works just fine. It's probably just a little bit smaller, but it's fine as long as I can get that kind of foil circle there. And you just want to press, but not too much. And then just glue it together basically. Just once it's done, just push it down and just be careful with your fingers and the glue. Okay, so while that's off gluing, what we're going to do is grab some bags. You can actually use a black sack. I've got these Peacock's ones which are happily black anyway. And just grab any bit of rubbish. You can put paper in there, or you can put bubble wrap, place it inside right into the corner and twist it and cut it to make yourself a little black sack. What I've done now is I've done too much excess, so I'm just cutting off the top, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. You could be really tricky and actually make a little bow, it's up to you, but I'm a bit lazy, so I just actually twisted it while I had glue in there. Just be careful, wear gloves, highly recommended, because my fingers were covered in super glue at the end of this. So now you want to grab your wire, grab your clippers as well. You only need a little bit of length here, so just make sure it's all nice and straight, and if you actually got some pliers it'll work a lot better here. So what you're going to do is actually just bend 90 degrees 4 times back on itself, just to make a little handle, and do 2 of those for one either side of the bin. So I cut enough wire to actually make 2 of them on here, but you could just do enough to do one and then cut it, and do another one and then cut it. It's entirely up to you how you do it. Once you're done, grab your tin foil again and then just cut up a little bit, because we're going to make 2 kind of brackets out of this. Cut it in half and then do exactly the same thing what we did at the top of the bin on both of these parts, and then I measured it up to the little clip that we have made. It was a little bit bigger, so I had to cut it down into shape, and this is to glue it onto the side of the bin. It's hard to explain it, so if you see it at the end of the video you see what I mean. You glue it on there to actually make the handles of the bin, and that is it. That is literally it. So these look fantastic, I think, and definitely good for the diorama. So there we go, your bins are all finished. Adding a few more black sacks and a couple more bins really adds up the area. You can also make a battle damage one as well by just literally pushing down on the centre. Don't worry about putting the handles on there, making sure the area bits are flared up on the side, and it looks like someone's been punched in the face and they're falling onto the bins. So don't forget to subscribe and ding that bell, and you can see more episodes and dioramas and reviews and what extra we got coming down the line. And also follow me on Instagram, which is in the description down below, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.